Hello everybody and welcome. I'm Peter. This is Infinity Digital. You're watching Tech Check Tuesday and this is the Mavic 2 Pro. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. And you might be scratching your head and wondering, who the heck is this guy and what does he think he knows he's talking about drones? Well, I've been flying drones now for a couple of years. I've flown dozens of drones made by many different manufacturers. And that includes the original Mavic Pro that I have clocked more than 500 flights with. So yeah, I'm officially an addict. So tonight's episode is going to be about my first impressions as an original Mavic owner and of course some of my first flights. Now just like the Mavic Air, I'm going to be doing a big series of videos on this thing, testing and demonstrating all of the different features and points of this thing, as well as testing and reviewing all kinds of different products and accessories to go along with it, and maybe even some modifications as well. So let's take a look at the drone itself. Now if you are an original Mavic owner, this thing will be instantly familiar. It unfolds in the same way, front legs, then the back legs. It looks very similar, same lines, same similar design, but you'll also notice it's been slimmed down a little bit and a bit sleeker. DJI says it's up to 80% more aerodynamic than the original. You'll also notice that the battery is still on the top, unlike the Mavic Air, which is something I like a lot better. Speaking of the battery is a bit bigger and heavier. It also has the battery indicator lights on the button rather than running down the side of the battery, which is a little more refined. The battery itself is actually 3850 milliamp hour battery that can keep this sucker in the air for about 30 minutes. You can also see that the Mavic 2 comes equipped with the low noise propellers, and it also has the upgraded quieter ECS motors, a lot like the Mavic Pro Platinum. But here's where things get a little bit different. If you pull off the gimbal cover here, you'll see this right here. And this is a Hasselblad camera containing a 1-inch Sony CMOS camera sensor. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the name Hasselblad, they've been around for decades. And in fact, it's the kind of cameras that NASA themselves used to take on the Apollo moon missions. You know the famous saying, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind? Well, guess what? That was recorded on a Hasselblad. Another one of the key features of this drone over the original Mavic Pro is obstacle avoidance. It has been significantly upgraded. I mean, we have the sensors up front, which we've had for years now on the original, but now we have it included on the rear, just like the Mavic Air, and on the sides. There is, however, a caveat with these side sensors. We'll talk about that in a later video. We're also including infrared sensors on the top to sense obstacles above it, like tree branches, or especially when you're flying indoors to help keep you from crashing into the ceiling or other objects above it, as well as the same below. We also have the same optical sensors in the front and back, but we also have these guys right here, which are actually LEDs, and they will automatically turn on to illuminate the ground below the drone for precision takeoff and landing. So now let's take a look at the controller. It's exactly like the original Mavic Pro controller, except that it comes with removable control sticks that you can pack away, just like the Mavic Air controller did. They simply just thread in and you're ready to go. And we also have this switch here on the side. You can manually switch between P mode, sport mode, and tripod mode, which is actually a really cool feature because with the original Mavic Pro, it was always kind of a pain in the butt to switch into tripod mode. So right away, I can see this drone is pretty much exactly what you would expect the second edition of the Mavic Pro to be. Upgraded all around. It feels sturdier, it feels heavier, it looks and feels more refined. You have an upgraded camera, you have the upgraded obstacle avoidance, you have upgraded battery, upgraded motors, upgraded propellers, and on the inside, it comes with upgrades as well. So now that we've taken a kind of a preliminary overlook of this thing, I'm going to shut up. Let's take this bad boy outside and play with it. I'm going to get the Mavic 2 Pro up in the air. We're going to do a little bit of a hover test and stability test and a few other things. There's a little bit of a wind, but not too much. I'd say about 10 miles an hour according to my weather app. You can see right now how incredibly stable it is. That hover is probably the most solid hover I have ever seen. And as you can see, it just wants to automatically correct itself. That's crazy, right? Now you can see on screen here, its forward sensors are sensing me as an obstacle. Let's rotate it around 180. And now the rear sensors are sensing me as an obstacle. Now that's exactly what they should be doing, and that's exactly what's going to help you from keep crashing your expensive drone. And that is the automatic motor shut off. Now, if your drone crashed, which would lead it to tilt beyond a 90-degree angle, the motors are going to absolutely automatically shut off so that they don't burn up and destroy themselves. Well, my friends, thank you so much for joining me with my first look at the Mavic 2 Pro. I'm really loving this thing so far. It's amazing. I'm super impressed, and I can totally see it becoming my new workhorse drone. So, as I was saying, I'm going to be doing a ton more videos on this thing, highlighting all the new different features and abilities this thing has, as well as accessories and add-ons and things like that, and else, of course, using it for what it's made for, taking out and flying. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and make sure you mash that bell icon down there because you don't want to miss a second of it. Thanks again for joining me. We'll see you guys soon.